Hello! So for this project, I wanted to explore deontology through a character analysis of Finn the Human from Adventure Time. It's a cartoon, so of course it has a lot of whimsy and magic, but underneath, the characters do make a lot of difficult moral choices sometimes. Finn especially is a great example, because he's a recognized hero always trying to do the right thing by following his hero sense of duty. I'm gonna break down some moral dilemmas in a couple of episodes and use the mindset of Kant to analyze said moral dilemmas. There is some consequentialism to consider as well, so I will bring up Bentham and Mill briefly. All you need to know is that our leads are Finn and Jake, and they go on adventures. If context is needed, I will address like other plot points and such. Also, for efficiency, if I'm referencing a philosopher, instead of saying their name over and over again, I'll have like an indicator somewhere on the screen. Alright, let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we have What Have You Done? Just 24 episodes into the first season. In the beginning of the episode, Finn and Jake capture the Ice King because Princess Bubblegum tells them to. The Ice King is the main bad guy in the show with ice powers, and he's known for causing harm. Princess Bubblegum is a princess, of course, and she rules the Candy Kingdom. Just think of Finn and Jake as her knights. They're still friends, but their main role is to protect and serve her. Anyways, Princess Bubblegum asks them to capture the Ice King, but she doesn't say why. There's even this moment to consider.
Why'd we do this again?
Princess explained it all when she sent us on the mission. Remember?
Go capture the Ice King and bring him to me.
She really didn't explain anything.
I'm sure she's got a good reason.
No proof, no explanation, they just follow orders. Already we got the first ethical red flag. In this situation, Finn's not thinking for himself. He's basically handing over his moral judgment to Princess Bubblegum because she's like a force of good. He uses the Ice King to achieve her goal without asking if it's right. And this isn't the only episode where this kind of mindset takes place.
Dude, look. The Duke of Nuts is bad guys.
How do you know that?
Think about it. If Bubblegum hates him so much, then he must have done some rotten stuff.
Acting morally means using your own reason, not just blind trust. Even if Princess Bubblegum is legit, you should still use your own reason, obviously. But the thing is, you could defend it. If Princess Bubblegum usually makes good calls and acting fast stops harm, then grabbing the Ice King quickly could maximize overall happiness. If the Candy Kingdom is safe, then that's what matters. They then meet Princess Bubblegum in a seemingly deserted and run-down Candy Kingdom. And it gets worse. Finn has a question.
This stairway leads to the dungeon where we'll toss that lousy Ice King.
What awful thing did he do to get tossed in there?
He didn't do anything. Not a thing.
What?
From Finn's POV, they're locking up Ice King before he's done anything wrong. Kant would reject that. Punishing someone before they do anything wrong can't be a fair rule. Obviously, you don't jail people for what they might do. While you might be trying to achieve safety, with that kind of mindset, you do end up causing harm as well. Princess Bubblegum says she plans on torturing him.
And be prepared to make him howl with pain.
She doesn't outright say it, but you can read it between the lines easily. She's actually about to explain to Finn and Jake why she had them capture him, but then she gets conveniently cut off and has other princess stuff to do. So keep in mind, she's out of the picture for a bit. Next, we got the jail scene. They drag Ice King into a jail for questioning and holding. La-di-la, some comedy arises, some antics ensue, and then...
So, what am I being charged with?
5 counts of jerketeering.
Yeah, what does it matter?
That's a huge problem. Due process matters because it isn't just about feelings. It's about principles. And look, I'll reiterate, Ice King is a bad guy who kidnaps princesses often, including Princess Bubblegum. But at this point, he hasn't done anything. You can't just say he's done bad stuff before and skip moral reasoning. And Finn actually starts to consider this, right after Ice King himself says he has committed no recent crime.
Jake, he is starting to convince me we're doing a bad thing.
That's Finn using his own moral judgment. He's realizing that punishing someone without a current offense feels wrong.
I'm rocking your worldview!
And then he thinks about it more, and he lets the Ice King go. Not only that, but he locks himself and Jake in the jail. And there's this little development that happens.
Sorry, but since we're the bad guys this time, we gotta go to jail.
This sucks.
Very Kantian, to say the least. He's trying to be consistent in his moral reasoning. He's basically saying, hey look, if wrongful imprisonment is wrong, and we did that, then we deserve consequences too.
So, you're really breaking me out?
Like I said, it's wrong to imprison you.
Princess Bubblegum then comes back right as the Ice King left. Convenient. She finds the Ice King gone, and she's a little mad.
What have you done?
Then she reveals the full story. The Ice King infected the citizens with an ice plague. She explains that he accidentally caused harm trying to impress her. She discovered that the cure was within Ice King in the form of his screams of pain. She tries reasoning with him but fails in her attempt, so she resorts to getting the cure by force, by torturing him. This is where it gets kind of tricky. Ice King didn't mean to cause harm, but he did. And Princess Bubblegum needs his suffering to save everyone. It's one person's suffering versus many, and the math favors the kingdom. Finn then pushes back.
I had no choice but to try and take his whales by force.
By getting us to beat the tar out of him?
I can't just beat up the Ice King for nothing. That's against my alignment.
I know.
It's against his alignment. In other words, the actions that reflect his core values. He won't harm someone that didn't intentionally cause harm. The intention matters. Anyways, then some regret is had. Finn comes up with a new plan to save the day. Finn fakes his death to get Ice King to scream voluntarily, and the kingdom is saved. It's manipulative, sure, but it avoids direct torture. Plus, Ice King didn't even care.
Oh well. Gunter, dispose of Finn's carcass.
And the episode leaves you with a couple questions. If hurting one innocent person would definitely save hundreds of lives, is it okay? Does justice matter more than results? And do results trump fairness? That's kind of the tension that Finn has to go through, and it's the questions he has to ask himself. I mean, if you're gonna play hero, then it's an important question, because what do? Alright, moving on. This episode is called Henchmen, and it's episode 22 of the first season. When Finn and Jake are hanging out, they overhear Marceline emotionally abusing an old man. Marceline is a reoccurring main character in the series. She's a vampire, and so far, this is only the second appearance she's made in the series. Finn and Jake aren't quite sure what her intentions are, but as of now, she seems evil. Anyways, the old man is her henchman. She is embarrassing him, making him cry, making him hop on his cane. Finn is a witness to all this happening and asks Marceline to stop. She doesn't stop to torment Finn, and Finn does this.
Don't worry, sir. I'll see to it you get set free.
Oh, and how you gonna pull that off, hero?
I'll do what I need to. I'll even take his place.
Not only that, but he also says this.
I couldn't watch that old man suffer, Jake. My code of honor wouldn't allow it.
A very Kantian moment. Finn is realizing that Marceline is treating them as tools or a means to an end. It's never acceptable for a person to treat another person as an object, no matter the difficulties that might happen. We have to respect the dignity of others, and it should be made clear if we're not respecting that dignity, even if it costs you personally. Then things start to get a little bit complicated. Marceline immediately challenges Finn when they arrive at a house.
Sounds like dinner. Finn, open the door.
She doesn't outright say what she's gonna do, but like Finn, we can gather the context clues.
No way, Marceline! I'm not gonna open this door if innocent people will be hurt.
Aren't you bound by your word to do as I say, hero?
Yes.
You can see Finn is really uncomfortable and horrified by this. But according to himself, he has to go through with it. But at the moment of truth, when Marceline is about to bite the guy, Finn hinders Marceline. That's growth. A promise doesn't override your duty not to harm an innocent person. If keeping your word means doing something immoral, you shouldn't keep it. Finn instinctively prioritizes protecting someone over blind obedience. Then comes the twist. Marceline was only after the red guy's bow tie. Anyways, now we're back in utilitarian territory. What? Utilitarian territory. Say that 5 times fast. If the outcome is harmless and even positive, in this case it is, then Finn's panic was unnecessary.
A white tie! Thank you so much. This is so beautiful.
Outcomes matter, not the scary appearance. They then carry on and Marceline raises the dead. She and Finn and her army of skeletons then march towards the Duchy of Nuts. Finn decides to get ahead of Marceline to try to warn everybody because again, he thinks that she's gonna cause harm. They don't believe him. Marceline arrives. Finn begs Marceline not to go through with it, but as it turns out, Marceline is performing there. It's another twist, no harm, no victims, and everyone is enjoying themselves, Finn included. So what's happening here? Marceline is deliberately creating fake scenarios that look evil to mess with Finn. She's toying with his moral reflexes. It's here that Marceline is showing her egoistic traits. She's tricking Finn, not for the greater good or to teach a lesson or anything, just because she enjoys it. She likes the chaos and she likes watching him scramble. Her actions are driven by her own amusement and her motive is self-interest. Moving on, we got the real stress test with the dimple plant. Marceline tells Finn to kill a plant that gives you dimples. No visible threat, no explanation, just kill it.
I want you to take this dimple plant outside and kill it. What?
Finn has like a really big hesitation moment here. Another instance of him refusing to harm something without reason. Obviously, you don't destroy something harmless just because you're ordered to. But then, the plant turns into a monster. Here's the thing, if Finn had killed it earlier, he would have prevented danger. Some more utilitarian logic creeps in. Sometimes preemptive harm prevents greater harm. But yeah, they move on from that, they continue to hang out, and Finn catches on to Marceline.
Hey Finn, I need you to strangle some pixies.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
He doesn't react. He realizes that she's messing with him. He stops jumping into hero mode and actually starts thinking critically. This is when Finn realizes that Marceline isn't a bad person. And just when they're enjoying themselves, Jake gets to jump on Marceline. Jake, by the way, has been in the background this whole time trying to help Finn, but he's terrified of Marceline. At this point, Jake is trying to stake Marceline and kill her. He thinks that Marceline is like mind controlling Finn, and he thinks that she's like pure evil. But Finn protects her. Why? Because now he understands that appearances don't equal intent.
Jake, listen! Marceline is not how she seems. She's a radical dame who likes to play games.
But yeah, there's a struggle. Jake seemingly stakes her and destroys her. But as it turns out, he didn't really, and Marceline survived. I guess it's worth mentioning that Finn and Marceline came up with this plan so Jake would stop being scared of vampires. And that's pretty much the end of the episode. And here's how you could look at it. Kant would praise Finn's instinct to protect dignity and refuse blind obedience. Bentham and Mill would argue that no real harm actually occurred, and in some cases, Finn's hesitation actually could have made things worse. And here are the questions. Is morality just about following rules and being told about what is right and wrong? Or is it about considering the effects of our actions and making hard decisions even when they feel unusual or go against our gut feelings? And that is a Kantian analysis on Finn the Human. I really think that this show is interesting, and Finn as a character is really interesting. Something I wanted to mention is that Finn is 12 in these episodes. He is a child playing hero. And just this whole hero thing is interesting to me. Like, how do you make the right decision as a hero? What makes you a hero? What is the right thing to do, etc. And because he's a hero, he's forced into these moral gray areas. You know, where the rules and outcomes and self-interest collide. But yeah, also just because I really like the show. I've been watching it since I was like in first grade. So I just really wanted to talk about it, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.